Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazingly great. If you are coming to the channel for the very first time, a very warm welcome to all of you. Before I move on with the video, let me tell you that I am so sorry for not being able to upload the hashtag Storytime Saturday video previous Saturday because I got caught up with very important official work which I had to complete, and I am done with that. I had a lot of vivas going on, so I had to finish off with that as well, and I'm finally done, so I sat down to shoot this video. So yeah, welcome to another hashtag Storytime Saturday video. As you have already come to know what I'm going to talk about today, it is my first ever international destination and layover, and I'm going to discuss with you how things went about, how I felt, and what are the things that basically a gist of what the day was like and what that particular flight was like for me. So yeah, let's start. Now, my first ever international destination was Kuwait. And before I move on with this video, I would like to tell you that I would be sharing some pictures on screen. So my flight to Kuwait was the first destination that I have ever been to internationally, and I had never personally traveled to an international destination before also. My flight was at night at 9 p.m. and I woke up early that day. I had already packed my bags like 24 hours before the flight, and I took ample rest. I did a lot of research on Google as to what is the culture there, what are the things that are allowed, what are things not allowed, and what is the temperature, what is the dressing style, and what are the places to see, what food to eat. There is a lot of things that I researched the entire day, because as a cabin crew, when you go to another country, you are going to stay there for a minimum of 2 days, where you need to know what kind of culture persists there. The restrictions, you just cannot go to another country without knowing what type of atmosphere and what type of environment you're going to come across. So I did all my research and I was ready. I was very excited for the flight, and I got ready, went to the airport, I sat for my briefing, and I told my crew, girls, this is my first international destination, so please bear with me if I become a little too overexcited or a little too annoying, because I would be telling you to click a lot of pictures of me. So they were very sweet, and they had already been to Kuwait before, so they helped me a lot throughout the flight. So if they are watching this video, a big shout out to them. I landed into Kuwait, and I felt a different feeling altogether from all the domestic flights that I have done. As I entered the airport looked so beautiful, and I saw people talking in different languages, and mostly people were speaking Arabic because that is the language of that country. So we managed to talk and to communicate with each other. So that was one challenge that I faced in Kuwait, that a lot of us usually face if you do not know Arabic. But yeah, nevertheless, it was a good experience. So we went through all the process of the stamping of the passport. We do not get passport stamped, so I do not have any stamp on my passport, but we have a GD and a customs regulation, a baggage declaration form, and stuff. That we finished off with everything. I moved out of the airport. It was so hot. I had not imagined that it is going to be so hot. I felt like my skin was burning, like like somebody has put me into a furnace and my skin was burning. And it was April, and in India it was not even that hot. In Kuwait, it was so hot you could barely step out of your house, and I was like, my brain was boiling and I could not understand what to do. But yeah, at the back of my mind, I knew that it was my first international destination. So we moved to our hotel, and the hotel was beautiful. Trust me, the hotel was so beautiful. I remember the first time I entered that hotel, I saw a huge chandelier on top. It was like the entire reception area was covered with that huge chandelier, and the floor was carpeted. It was all gold and everything, like not real gold. It was gold plated. Everything was gold plated. Everything looked so spick and span and so pretty. And there was the receptionist who was from Africa. So when I saw her, I spoke to her, and she spoke so well. She greeted us so warmly, and I felt like, so elevated, because I told her it was my first ever destination and first time coming to Kuwait, and such warm hospitality. I tell you guys, I felt like I was not even talking to a stranger. So She was so pretty, she was so sweet, and she was so humble, down to earth. It felt really good, trust me. So we got our allowance and we went to the room, and the room was of another level. There was this huge bathtub, and there was a lawn area outside which looked very pretty because you could see a fountain outside, and there was this garden with small tents. So I didn't know what those tents were all about, but the next day I came to know what it is, and I'll tell you what it was. So I couldn't sleep that night. So we landed into Kuwait at 12 o'clock at night, which is 2:30, approximately 2:30 in India. Even after reaching Kuwait, I started Googling as to stuff that is open, stuff that is closed, and what are the shopping centers that we could go to. So we asked them at the hotel, and they told us that there's a shuttle that you have 2 hours, and they'll give you 2 hours to shop. It was going to a mall in the morning, and it was going to another local souk market that they call, like, a flea market kind of a thing. So the plan for the first day was to go to the souk market, and I have never been to a souk market before. So I was all dressed up, and I had a lot of things in my mind. So my friends had asked me to get a lot of perfumes, so I shopped for them. We went and had dinner. So there was this huge area, open area, where a lot of restaurants were lined together. It was like a food court. So we all sat together and we ordered, like, a lot of dishes, but we did not know, like, I did not know that, when you order something, it's going to be like double, triple times of what you're going to eat in India. So if you order a plate of biryani, it's like serving for two. So if you eat in Kuwait, you're never going to be disappointed by the amount of food you have on your plate. You're going to absolutely full. You won't be able to finish the entire thing. And it was amazing. The food was so delicious. We had shawarma, we had kebab, I had kubus. I had never had kubus before, so I had to try that. Majority of the people there were wearing burqas, and the men were wearing these long white kurtis with a headgear, which looked so amazing because everybody was so uniform in their dressing style, and people were wearing a lot of branded clothes and a lot of heels and everything, but they were wearing burqas and the white entire attire for men, which looked phenomenal. The makeup that the women wore, hats off. They looked so beautiful, so gorgeous. I got inspired by them so much that it was like, it was such a nice experience to be to a souk market for the very first time, and I clicked a lot of pictures. I had a lot of bags in my hand and stuff, and I was not enough with my shop. So next day I got up and I decided that I'll go for shopping again. So we woke up in the morning and we went for breakfast, and in Kuwait the breakfast is slightly different from what you get in India. So we had a lot of hams, and we had sausages, we had bacons, we had a lot of variety of food, and a lot of Arabic dishes which I was not familiar with at that point in time, but it looked very amusing, so I ate everything. Like, I took little of everything to taste what a proper Arabic breakfast is like. And after breakfast we got ready, and we had plans to go to the mall. It was the Avenues Mall. It's the biggest mall in Kuwait, and I had a lot of plans of buying stuff from Victoria's Secret, Louis Vuitton, and a lot of brands. So I was like, I made my to-do list as to what all things that I need to buy, and what are the things that I have never bought before in my life, and I had to get hands on that. In 15 to 16 outlets of Starbucks only in that mall. So we went, we shopped, and we ate everything, and we came back to the hotel. And remember, I told you about those tents. So I went just exploring the hotel, and I asked the receptionist that what are those tents actually. He told me that these are tents. If you want to smoke hookah personally in a tent, you can go and take that seat. And you have an outer space as well. So we thought of going and sitting there for some time, and just experiencing and eating some snacks because we were very hungry after we came back from shopping. So we went there, and there was this TV, so we put some Arabic music, and there was a hookah brought for us so that all of us could share and stuff. And then we had a real gala time there, so we went back to our room. And at the end of the layover, I had no penny. Like, I had decided that if I go, I will spend 50% of what I get, and 50% I will save it. But I had no penny. I came back with zero pennies. Like,
Zero.
I don't regret it because it was my first destination and I wanted to enjoy the most of it. We went and saw the Kuwait Towers. I clicked loads of pictures, even though this was not the first and the last time that I was going to visit the country, but I felt like I have to click a lot of pictures. So I just troubled my crew till here, and they were so cooperative, they were being so sweet. They clicked a lot of pictures of me standing. I always had dreamt that I will click a picture right in the middle of a market, in India, if you're standing right in the middle of the market and clicking a picture, everyone is staring at you. But in other countries, if you stand in the middle, and just pose and with pictures, people don't care. So I stood right in the middle and I clicked this picture, and I was becoming conscious because I thought people were staring at me. But when I looked around, nobody was even bothered to look at what I was doing, or they just didn't care. Well, like, I bought loads of sweets because you get it at such a cheap price there. So I stuffed my bag with a lot of stuff, and I remember my bag was so full that I had to literally sit on the bag and push it down to just put the zip. And at the end of the flight, when I was returning back to India, I know how I had a difficult time dragging that suitcase back to India because it was so full and so packed. So we came back to India and I sat for my debriefing after the flight, like we always do, and I thanked my crew for giving me such a beautiful and amazing layover and making my first flight so memorable, because I had a very good time and an experience which was like one in a million experience. Because experiencing all these things for the very first time, if you are a regular person, you might not feel so great about this, but because it was the first timer for me, I felt absolutely out of the world. I was on cloud 9, and people in Kuwait were very approachable, very good. You, if you were in trouble, they were ready to help you and did not feel like you are in another country all lost. If you are from Kuwait watching this video, a big shout out to all of you, because you guys are so amazing. I had the best experience of my life and I am never going to forget this layover and the first destination to Kuwait, my first flight ever in my life. I actually saved up, and I have a scrapbook where I put all my memories. So I took a printout of a lot of pictures and I saved it over there. I saved up one note from Kuwait and one coin so that it's like a collection, a memory for me. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was my first ever flight, and I wish that if you want to be a cabin crew someday and if you become one, you also have an amazing time in flying international destinations and seeing a lot of things in the world, and that helps you to grow as a person as well and to know the culture more in detail of others. I hope you enjoyed the video, and coming up with some more exciting some funny Saturday videos as well. So it's gonna be a few videos, and then eventually I would have to stop it because I would not have so many stories to share, but I'll keep posting it every Saturday, as many Saturdays I can. And thank you so much for watching the video. If you like the video, then don't forget to press the thumbs up, which is down. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Take care all of you. Stay home, stay safe, and see you in my next video.